It's easier to read the scripture out.
Here.
Oh, you want to got the answer from someone else?
Here. So I'll give you English translation here. Mansur Khan is fine.
I can't read that.
I'm reading it for you. Because of the breaking the covenant. Make it simple, Yusuf Ali, doesn't matter. Pictorial.
Is this the Quran, yeah?
This is the Quran, which is Arabic. Yeah? Then because of the breaking of the covenant and the disbelieving in the revelation of Allah. And they're saying, yeah?
You want to read that, yeah?
I am going to read it for you. Is that okay? Yeah, here. And because of the saying, we slew the Messiah, Jesus the Son of Mary. They slew him not, nor crucified him. But it appeared so unto them.
Okay, but who will it appear to
Can I finish the statement?
Yeah.
And then I can answer that question? But it appeared so unto them, and lo, those who disagree concerning it are in doubt thereof. They have no knowledge thereof, save pursuit of a conjecture. They slew him not for certain. So the Quran is saying, they're boasting about killing him, crucifying him, but certainly they didn't kill him. It appeared to them so. So, I am answering your question, I haven't forgotten. So, if I said to you, the door is open, if I made a statement, and then I ask you, who opened the door? Now I'm asking you, if I told you, this is what happened, the door is open in a passive voice, who opened the door? Do you realize that? The one who opens the door is not mentioned. Here, God is saying, it appeared to them so. Can I make it? Can I clarify to you this all over? Because you're not listening. So here, God is not saying, I made it look like them to deceive them. Of course not. So, you see those people who are coming over there from there? That gentleman over there? Looks like he's Jordan. Okay? And then it turns out that he's not Jordan. So when I perceive him to be Jordan, whose fault is it if I think he's Jordan?
Your fault.
My fault. So if I perceive, Jazak Allah Khair, if I perceive, hear me out. Before you say, I need to clarify.
Yeah, but one second.
Please.
And this is why I said to Mary.
When Mary.
We will go to that. Hold on.
Was Mary at the crucifixion?
Hold on. For us, there is no information in the Quran given any of that because there was no crucifixion. So the question is meaningless to us. What I'm saying, my friend, is when I perceive someone walking past and I consider him to be Jordan and it turns out to be not true, I am to be blamed of my mistaken perception. Do you agree? Did you make me perceive he was Jordan? Did Jordan make me perceive that he was Jordan? Did you make me perceive that he was Jordan? No, one moment. Can you answer the question? If I mistakenly think and perceive, my perception is that he was Jordan going by, and he's not you. Did Jordan, did you make me believe that way? Or it was my mistake? You know the answer. It's my misjudgment. It's my mistaken perception. So when the Quran says here is this, the people mistakenly forsook that they crucified him. But God clarifies that this is based on conjecture. He was not killed or crucified.
Do you know these people? Basically,
is it clear now?
One second. These people that appear to look like, to make it look like Jesus. Do they know Jesus as well? Then? Obviously, they must have known Jesus.
No. The place, because at that time, if you go to
they appear to make it look like them.
Like him, they thought it this way. Yeah, he appeared to them.
Do these people know Jesus then?
I'm answering. The same people, when the events are happening and recorded in the Gospels, at that time there were earthquakes, there was blackening things, there was a lot of things, going dark. So a lot of things happening. At that point, imagine if an earthquake is happening here right now. I want you to visualize it. If an earthquake was happening, it was gone totally dark and a lot of things happening, people running around like not what to do. You don't know from who, would you?
In the Bible,
one moment.
afterwards, when Jesus gives up his spirit,
Ah.
when Jesus gave up his spirit, then one of the Roman soldiers got a conversion from it, yeah? So I'm saying to you, are you saying basically there was all clouds and everything?
What we are saying, the narratives that we have, it's not just the Quran denying the crucifixion, about giving the historical truth. There are many Christian writers before, church fathers, Irenaeus, Origen. They wrote tracts like heresies, on the heretical sect, saying there are some people who deny the crucifixion of Christ. There are people who believe that it wasn't Christ, it was Simon the Cyrene. We have even historical writing long before the Quran that Jesus was sitting there on the top of the tree and he's looking at the people and they say, look, they got the wrong man. They're crucifying the wrong man and he's laughing on the tree, right? Laughing in the tree. You didn't know that. Many Christians don't even know that. So what we are saying, why would the church fathers, think about it, church fathers warn people that no, Christ really died by crucifixion, physical death. If the opposite teaching that he didn't die was really widespread enough. Because it was so widespread, they had to write and warn the people. That means very early on, there were Christian communities who didn't believe in the crucifixion of Christ. So the Quran simply says all that people have is just a conjecture about that he was killed, but he was certainly not killed, but God raised him up. And you will find even in many writings, God actually raised Christ up. You'll find that. Quran is saying, no, they did not crucify him and kill him, but he will come back again. Do you know why he's coming back again according to some tradition? Because he will come back again to die. He is not dead yet. Every soul must taste death. He was raised alive and he will come back dead, but he has some other missions to complete. Killing the Antichrist, for example.
When you say that Jesus is going to come back and die, is it, yeah?
No, he will come back and die.
What was the purpose of that?
I just told you, major prophets undergo migration.
We believe that he already died and resurrected after. We already believe as Christians. He died, third day he raised from the dead. Yeah? So we believe that was already accomplished. Yeah.
Here's the problem. God raised him up. Okay? Is he raised up alive or dead? Is he raised up alive or dead?
Sorry?
Was he raised up alive or dead?
Who?
Jesus Christ.
He died and he resurrected after third day. When he descended into heaven, he was
Okay. I want to ask you totally unrelated to this question we're discussing because we are moving on to this thing. If someone dies, when they're dead, can they raise themselves up to life again?
Well, we can't.
No. Anyone that dies, look, anyone who's able to die, can they raise themselves up to life again?
There are actually things where people have died and been resuscitated again.
Anyone that dies.
Yeah, but say there's people that has died
No.
been resuscitated. Is that true?
Anyone that dies, can they themselves raise them back to life?
But we can't compare Jesus to a normal person.
I'm asking you, anyone that dies. Anyone.
No, say we can't compare Jesus to any other person. But Jesus was
Do you consider Jesus to be a human being?
He's, I don't want to answer that question. To be honest, I'm
No
not
problem.
very educated.
Okay. Do you think he's God?
I believe he's the nature of God. Yeah. Like basically, God and him is the same nature.
Do you believe in God, in a concept in which God is a being that is worthy of worship?
So
Would you consider these railings, grass, the trees worthy of worship? No. So the one who is worthy of worship, the being that we call is God. And only God is worthy of worship. No one else. Now, think about that definition in mind. Keep it in mind. Is Jesus worthy of worship?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone to be worthy of worship, what are the essential qualities, characteristics they must possess? Consider a tree and a grass and stone. Are they worthy of worship, and why are they not worthy of worship?
We believe that Jesus is the revelation of the invisible God.
Before we go into that, what makes someone worthy of worship and what makes someone not worthy of worship? Anything that is dependent, limited, are they worthy of worship? Like you and I, we are dependent and we are limited. I depend on air, water, food. I depend on God for my life. If I'm dependent on someone else, is it worthy for someone to worship me? Am I worthy of being worshipped? I don't think so. Because I am weak. I'm dependent. I am not self-sufficient. I am not powerful. I'm not absolute.
Would you compare yourself with Jesus?
No. what I'm saying is, anyone to be called worthy of
for
worship.
example, we believe
We don't compare ourselves to prophets. All prophets, we make no distinction between them, but we are not like
Would you
prophets.
say Jesus was greater than us?
All prophets are greater than us in many
We can't
ways.
compare. So you're saying that basically you worship.
But we're not talking about as a prophet. We're talking about is he worthy of worship. You see, that's the point. So,
Well, he did say honor the Father, honor the Son.
worship. So, would you consider,
He who denies the Son denies the Father.
my friend Lance, listen. Would you say God is the one who is self-sufficient, the one who is independent?
Well, Jesus, he told us who he was. Through the scriptures.
What I'm saying is, would you agree?
He who denies the Son denies the Father.
You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm saying, would you agree with me that?
This guy don't
Don't record. Would you not agree with me that the being who is worthy of our worship is a being who must be self-sufficient?
I wouldn't compare Jesus to
I'm
us.
not comparing anyone now. I'm saying in general,
We're not worthy for worship. Me and you are not worthy for worship.
anyone to be worthy of our worship
We're not
must
worthy.
be
We're sinners.
perfect. Agree?
Jesus was perfect.
Must be self-sufficient. Do you agree? Anyone who is worthy of worship must be self-sufficient. Not saying, can I have this? Can I do this? Asking for permission. Can I be alive now? They will be by themselves or itself self-sufficient, all knowledgeable, all powerful. Yeah? By itself.
I'd like to see
Do you agree? Do you agree? It has to be self-sufficient.
I'd like to see, when I see...
Can I have an answer on this question?
No, what I'm saying is-
Would you agree God, or any conception of God, to be correct and true, Lance, to be correct and true, it has to be a God in which God is self-sufficient.
I'll be honest with you. This will be being honest with
Are you answering my question?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, yeah?
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of your videos.
Regardless.
I've watched a lot of your videos. I know you and a lot of you are very well-educated men. Scholars, I would say. You know,
We're not scholars. I'm not a scholar. There might be
You're
scholars
very, very educated in the park, right? And then I see the likes of Bob and Luke and all of them who are Christians who also are very educated. And every time I see you, or like I said to you, one of the educated Christians, yeah, I feel like that the Islam never has answers for them. Like with me, yes, you can toss me, turn me all over the place because I don't know all the questions. Yeah? Hold on a second. I don't know all the questions. And
No problem.
It's like leading a person into a trap, yeah?
I'm not trapping you.
1 second. Leading the person, like I said, I'll say on the cameras, I'm not a knowledgeable person, I'm not an educated person, right? Now, but there was people in this park, like Bob, Luke.
I've debated him already.
No, I've seen you a bit with Luke and Bob, and every time I watch your videos, this is the truth. I'm not just saying it because I'm a Christian. I feel like what they say makes more sense than what you say.
You entitled to your opinion, no problem.
Yeah, but
Look.
that doesn't make me right. But just
Now,
I
what I'm saying, you can feel that way, no problem with
No,
that.
I'm saying,
But I'm not talking to them, I'm
Yes,
talking to
The
you.
reason why I don't want to answer certain questions because I'm not that, when I become knowledgeable, then I can.
Fair enough. But one thing I will tell you is this.
All I'm going to do is listen.
Look, no problem. But one thing I'll tell you is this. Anyone who worships a God that is not self-sufficient, they're on the wrong path. Because God has to be self-sufficient. God cannot be dependent on someone else. Any belief that tells you God is dependent and he's dependent on someone else for his own life or existence, that thing cannot be God. This is something that is in your own nature God gave you, in your common sense, in your intellect, in your rationality. None of it can contradict that. Any belief which says God is dependent and any belief, you know that's wrong. It's wrong belief.
I do apologize. I have to leave now.
Do you understand? Yeah?
Like
Christians believe God, Jesus was dependent.
When I become more knowledgeable, then I can...
We can talk then,
But right
but one thing I want to say is this. Jesus, according to them, was not self-sufficient. So even though he didn't answer it, I will tell you, he was not self-sufficient. By that definition, he cannot be God. Because God is self-sufficient, independent, absolute. Anything other than that is imperfection. Because being self-sufficient is your perfection. Being dependent on someone else, which is opposite of not being self-sufficient, is a weakness. Oh, I am dependent on him, it's my weakness.
So I'm not being rude, I have to go, yeah?
Take care.
Nice speaking to you.
Let's take care, okay? Take care. May Allah guide you and may guide all of us. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. This microphone's going to be okay, they're wet.
Yeah, it's gonna be ruined. Some of them gone off.
আমার সাথে মনে হয় একটা আছে
One second.